What's up guys, my name's Adapt. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So we're back with another best lineup video. Now this is the second one I'm doing and it's a very tough one, and there are some players who have missed out. Toni Kroos has missed out, Jovic has missed out, James Rodriguez has missed out, Vinicius Jr. has missed out but he's 79 rated. Keylor Navas has missed out, 87 rated. There are quite a few players, and Asensio, 83 rated Asensio is on the reserves, but I just had to do that guys. There was not much option I had, and Mendy in the left back role is on the reserves as well, and I think he's Real Madrid starting left back at the moment. So the Real Madrid squad is a tough one. Brahim Diaz is on the reserves as well, so I'm going to get into it. Let's discuss my formation choice. Okay, so I was looking at quite a few. I was looking at the 4-3-3 flat. Then I was looking at my striker up top, Karim Benzema. He cannot play isolated, guys. He cannot play on his own in the striker role, and the wingers will be a bit too separated from the striker, so Benzema will get no support in the box. The formation I was thinking about first was the 4-5-1, but then again we've got that issue with Benzema just being isolated, and with a player like Benzema, when he's isolated he can't do much. He hasn't got pace to get away from the players, because as much as EA try and balance out pace, pace will always be the most important stat. 4-star, nothing wrong in that department. It's just that pace, guys. It's just that pace. Maybe that ball control isn't great as well, so he isn't going to be able to get past defenders easily. He needs help to do that. He needs someone to play off of. So that is why I chose the 4-3-2-1. We've got a good 4-back defense. You've got 3 in the midfield, 1 defensive midfielder solely focused on defending. Then we got Modric, someone who can play that defensive and attacking role. He can play that balanced midfielder role and can do both. And if he gets the ball quickly, he can deliver a good pass to a player. He's a good playmaker as well as a good defensive-minded midfielder. And then we've got all-out attacking midfielder in Isco. Now, it was a tough one between Isco and Rodriguez, but Isco had to get into the squad because he's higher rated. And Toni Kroos, he's just not quick enough. 45 pace is just not cutting it, guys. He isn't quick enough to be an amazing centre mid in this game, and it just sucks, guys. But I had to choose Modric or Kroos. It was a choice between the two, and Modric is always going to be chosen ahead of Toni Kroos. Then in the left wing role I have Hazard. Hazard has to get into this squad. Great player, 4-star, and he can play left wing as well as centre forward, and he's a good dribbler. He's got very good pace. He's just an amazing player. There's no explanation needed for selecting Hazard in my team. And then Bale was on the reserves, which I just couldn't let that happen. Although he's got 3-star weak foot, and that 3-star weak foot is a huge area for concern, but the rest of his stats, his pace, his strength, his physique, and how strong he is and how he can hold off players, it makes up for that so much, which you're going to see with Asensio. Now Asensio has 3-star weak foot, but he just can't make up for it in other departments in comparison to Vinicius Jr. It was a choice between Vinicius Jr. and it was a choice between Asensio, and I had to choose Vinicius Jr. because of that 4-star weak foot and 5-star skill moves. He offers more, and I shouldn't have any trouble shooting with him from the left or the right. And in the striker role I have Karim Benzema. I thought Jovic would be quicker. He's just not quicker, guys, so I have to settle with Benzema. So in the striker role, Real Madrid aren't strong in this game. In real life, Benzema is an amazing striker, but pace is very important in this game, and he just doesn't have a lot of it. Now getting onto the bench, select Toni Kroos. That's a no-brainer. He's an 88 rated player. Why wouldn't I select him? And he's a good player you can bring on, a good playmaker who you can bring on to create opportunities. Then I have Jovic, who is a good striker as well, had a very good season last season. Vinicius Jr. because of that 4-star, 5-star, and he's also got very good pace as well, so he brings a lot of pace to the team. He brings fresh legs, and he can really cause a problem for my opposition with how agile he is, how quick he is, and his acceleration is impeccable. Then we have James Rodriguez, 85 rated. A shame he couldn't get into the squad, but 2-star weak foot. I just don't like that. You cannot have 2-star weak foot and get into the squad if you're an attacking midfield player. That's just poor. What's Isco's weak foot? Let me check. 3-star isn't even that great, but 2-star on James and 55 pace in addition to that. You just can't get into the first team with 55 pace and 2-star weak foot as an attacking midfielder. Then we have Keylor Navas, who isn't going to get into the squad because Courtois is just better. And then we have Eder Militao, who newly transferred to Real Madrid. And then we have Nacho Fernandez missing out because Varane got that spot. And Ramos is just not going to miss out in the squad, being 90 rated. And then we got the reserves. Asensio didn't make it because of his weak foot. Vinicius Jr. is just quicker and he's a better sub to bring on. Mendy didn't make it as well because Marcelo's just better. Brahim Diaz isn't high rated enough. Odriozola, no space for him, and no space for Vasquez as well. They're just not good enough to get into the squad. Now getting into the custom tactics, we have pressure on heavy touch. Now I just did a video on Liverpool. Now you can do pressure on heavy touch with this squad because there is pace everywhere, and I've made sure of that. I've got Modric, I've got Isco in the midfield. They have got decent enough pace and they are willing to work hard enough to do that. You've also got electric pace on the right with Bale, and then a great amount of pace, and Hazard being smaller players just accelerate quicker, they feel faster, and they feel like they just cover more distance in a quicker amount of time. So Hazard and Bale can put pressure on my opposition. When they make a heavy touch, they are more likely to get to the ball quick enough before my opponent can recover his bad touch. So pressure on heavy touch can work with this team. Also got Marcelo, who has decent pace. Carvajal, he isn't lightning quick, but his pace is okay. Then for width, I've got 5 bars. Not too much to say about that. I think that's a good level. And then depth, I have it higher up because this team is more attacking, and I want to be very attacking with this team. So I want to play towards that. So we have the depth higher up defensive wise. And I think I can win the ball from my opposition higher up the field because I'm confident in Casemiro. I'm confident in Modric. I'm confident in all my defensive-minded players. Modric isn't a solely defensive-minded player, but he can play a defensive role quite well. Then for offensive style, fast build-up. I want to play quick. The 4-3-2-1, you have to do that. Bale and Hazard act as 2 other strikers as well as Benzema. So you've got 3 all-out attackers, forwards pretty much. So you need to be getting them as involved as much as possible. So before your opponent can recover, before he gets an opportunity to, you need to have that ball into the back of the net or be in your opponent's box by then. And then by the time you score, your opposition just wondering how the ball ended up in the back of the net because he just couldn't do anything because you were too quick. Now for width, I've got it higher up because I like to play with high width. And I like to utilize the middle as well as the sides of the pitch. So we've got higher width. I've also got players who are quick and players who can do that in Hazard and Bale. Players in the box, I have it 1 lower than width because Benzema isn't amazing for headering. He isn't a big aerial threat, but he can still score a header. He still has a decent chance of connecting with the ball if it's crossed into the box. He's a decent height. Then for corners, I have 3 bars, and for free kicks, I have 1 bar. Don't have to talk about that much. Then the captain left out on Ramos, left short free kick. I'm looking at curve and free kick accuracy, and Bale's is just absolutely amazing. So you've got Bale on both, also on the long free kick. Then for penalties, we look at the penalty stat. It was originally assigned to Ramos, but I chose Hazard. He's got the highest penalties, it makes sense. Left corner, Bale being left footed and having 90 curve, I put him on the left corner. And then for right corner, I'm looking for a right footed player with very good curve in my squad, and Isco has the highest curve for a right footed player in this squad, so I selected Isco. Now getting into the player instructions, balanced on Marcelo because I want to be fair to him. I know he likes to join the attack, but I want him to be a bit more disciplined, so balance should be good for him. Then Carvajal, I've got him on stay back or attacking. On both my centre backs, obviously I have stay back or attacking. On my left centre mid, I haven't put Modric on getting to the box for the cross because he just isn't tall enough, and I want extra cover for Casemiro. Then I've got Casemiro on stay back or attacking and cover centre. He's the more defensive player, and he needs to hold that position in the centre and make sure he doesn't push up at all. He needs to play that defensive midfielder role at all times. Then Isco, being the attacking midfielder in this squad, I've got him on get forward and get into the box for the cross. So that's pretty much self-explanatory for the role he's playing in the squad. Then on my right wing, I've got getting behind and aggressive interceptions. Bale's quick enough to do that in my opinion, and he's got good enough stamina. Well, he should have. I haven't really looked at his stamina, but he should have good enough stamina to be able to play that role. And then on Hazard, I have getting behind. I haven't put him on aggressive interceptions. Maybe I should put him on aggressive interceptions. Depends on his stamina, to be honest with you guys. But for now, I'm putting him on aggressive interceptions, getting behind. And aggressive interceptions is good enough for Hazard. And then for my striker, I have Benzema on stay central because he isn't a player who can get in behind. He just doesn't have enough pace to and stay forward. Because if I'm to counter attack my opposition and he's coming back, then as soon as I get the ball back, he hasn't got enough pace to get into the striker role I want him to quick enough. So that's why I've got Benzema on stay forward, because I just want him staying in his position. I don't want him coming back and helping out because he's a prolific goal scorer and he is a striker. I don't want him playing any other role. But for Bale and Hazard, I believe they both got enough pace to come back and help defense. So that's why I left them on basic. So guys, that is the best lineup for Real Madrid. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on them notifications, guys. I'm going to be producing a lot of content for FIFA 20, so watch out for them videos and make sure you turn on your notifications so YouTube notify you every time I do upload a video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Peace. Damn, I'm on red alert. Else you went up in the